Today's video, we are going to be doing one of the most requested whip tutorials, and that is the turn-up whip. So like every other whip tutorial I've done, I picked the same jump to kind of give you guys a gauge and show you what is different between the turn-up whip, the seat bounce whip, and the turn-down whip. Now these are a lot different than a standard seat bounce whip because you're going to be standing up and you're almost going to be doing the exact opposite of a regular like seat bounce whip. So without further ado, I'm going to take you guys on board and show you guys a step-by-step on how to do this.
So first things first, you guys are going to want to get warmed up and kind of ride in the line that you're going to be taking off the jump. I'm going to be whipping to what I call the left today. So I'm going to be starting on the right side of the jump, aiming towards the left, and right at the top of the lip, you're almost going to aim to the right again, and that will start the momentum for the rear wheel to throw to the right while your front end is going to the left. Now step two, and this is extremely important for turn-ups, is you're going to want to lead with your eyes and your head. As you can see, what I'm doing right here is I'm almost starting the whip before I even get off of the jump. That way, when I am in the air, I've already started the whip and I have that momentum going already. Step three is where the word up and turn up comes from. Once you've got the carve down and you've already kind of initiated the momentum for the whip, you're gonna wanna pull up and leave the bike wide open. I know that sounds pretty scary, but it's the same step regardless whether you're on a Stark Varg or you're on a combustion engine. But here's what that would sound like on a Varg. And now a 450. Which leads us into step four, which is bringing it back. Now this is different depending on the type of bike that you're riding. Now I am on a Varg in this video, obviously, so I did a couple different variations, which include brake tapping and non-brake tapping, as well as being hooked in with your left foot and not being hooked in, which I personally don't hook in on a combustion engine. But since the Stark has zero risk of actually hitting neutral, I do hook in on the Stark because it allows for more control. Now there's a few different turn-up styles you can do to bring the bike back, and there's no real correct way. It's just kind of up to you and how you want to make it look. But for me, I personally like to kind of throw my outside elbow down, kind of like I'm scrubbing something. What that does is it forces the front end to kind of go down and lays the bike a little bit more flat towards the end of the whip. It also throws your rear wheel around and kind of creates like an extra whip effect. Here's an example of what would happen if you kind of left your arms open. Yeah, the whip does come around and it looks good, but you're leaving an extra 10% or so on the table. But this part is solely on style and how you want it to look. So there's obviously tons of variations and they all look good. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I do use the rear brake on the Stark a lot to bring my front end down, especially because of how fast the rear wheel is spinning, and it's pretty hard to force the front end down without tapping the rear brake. Now, on a 450, you don't really have this problem, although you can use your rear brake. You don't really need to because the rear wheel isn't spinning as fast. You're probably in second, more than likely third gear while you're doing a turn up. Maybe fourth if it's a big jump. But I personally don't do it, and I don't really know that many people that do it for turnups. Also, the combustion engine turnups are a lot slower just in general than a e-bike, so it takes longer for the front end to get up, but it's easier to put the front end back down, therefore eliminating the need to brake tap. But hey, there you guys have it. Pretty quick tutorial. There's not too much to a turn-up whip other than the fact that it's just going to take practice. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have questions or concerns, drop them down in the comments. I'll be happy to help you guys out and answer any questions that I see. Anyways, after I got done filming this, I went ahead and actually threw down some pretty big ones. So I'm going to leave you guys with some raw turn-up clips to end this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.